Hello, my name is Alan McCabe. I'm a great builder and fireplace installer for FIREGROUP for over 20 years. Today we're here to install a new limestone fireplace for Mr and Mrs Bissett. The first thing we do is lay down dust sheets to protect and cover the carpets. We don't have to be too careful with this fireplace, as the customers requested that this be taken away and disposed of. So we can basically get stuck in, get it removed and prepare it for the new fireplace going in. It's imperative that we find where the fixings are securing this to the wall and to unscrew it properly, rather than just going in and hammering away and damaging the property in the wall and having problems when you come to install your new fireplace. I've got the hammer and chisel and we're going to work our way round the outside edge of the surround to source where the fixings are that secure the surround to the wall. As you can see, we've went along the top of the mantelpiece here to source where the fixings are. And as you can see, we've found two fixings that secure the top of the mantle, which is one being there, which is a positive drive screw that holds it to the wall. And you've got another one over here, which is the same fixing. You need to remove those two fixings in order to remove this first part of the fireplace's surround off the wall. Sometimes you might find another additional fixings on either side. Therefore, we'll need to go down each side of the fireplace to check to see if it's secured or if it's just the two fixings that hold this one on in place. We're going to remove this first part of the surround here, which is the top part. It spans across the two legs, the uprights here, which are secured to the wall. Okay, so we'll remove this top part first. I've unscrewed the screws, so it'll come away, no problem. In behind these legs that you've got two additional ties that secure the uprights. So we need to cut the cable to remove this surround. And use the appropriate tools to remove the leg from the wall. As you can see, there's some sand cement that's been left behind the leg that was been removed. So therefore we need to remove this just now in order to remove the panel that's stuck behind that. The next piece is to remove is this part here, which is the back panel. The next part is to remove this trim that's here. It was for the old fire. It's tied in with wire ties in behind here. And that will loosen this side up. There you go. And that's that part removed. Yeah, the next part of the fireplace to remove is your hearth here, the existing hearth. So get the hammer and chisel to get underneath it, to pop it up and get it loose. Always be careful when you're removing the hearth that you don't remove any skirting or damage the wall. So we can get this side out there. Some excess sand cement work that's been here, and we need to remove this. And that's the last of the preparation work we need to do before the new fireplace gets fitted. Here we have a fuse spur that's been fitted by a qualified electrician. Now we're fitting an electric fire with this installation, therefore we need to remove this face in order to get a cable run from here to where the fire is going to be for it working. Today we're fitting a limestone fireplace. Now we've bed the hearth that we have here down with sand cement. Now limestone is a porous material, therefore we need to apply PVA glue diluted with water onto the surfaces in order and leave it for a couple of minutes for it to draw into the limestone. Therefore that will protect it for when you do bed the hearth down in sand cement and it doesn't draw the moisture out of the sand cement through the stone and discolour the stone. Now when using the sand cement, it's vitally important that we use white sand cement with the limestone. If you use normal sand cement, it can cause staining in the hearth. Even though it's been prepared with PVA, it can cause staining. So it's very important that we use a white sand cement with limestone when bedding the hearth in. Make sure it gets a good bond to the sand cement that's underneath it. Press it right down. Got excess sand cement here that's pouring out the front and the sides. We need to remove that and give the hearth a good wash down before we carry on with the installation. The next part of your installation of your fireplace is your uprights, your legs as they call it. Now for these legs, they need to be secured back to the wall with the correct fixings supplied with the fireplace. When fixing the legs to the wall, you attach a bracket with a screw raw plug onto the leg with the matching bracket on the wall. As well as using the fixing kit to secure the legs back to the wall, we also advise that you put adhesive up the leg also to stick to the wall. It's just a backup to the fixing to secure and make safe. The back panel is the next part of the fireplace to go in. Before you install the back panel, make sure that you put adhesive up the leg, the inside of the leg, before applying the panel. If you just remove the excess adhesive that's spilled out, I'll give that a wipe down in a minute. Now that's in place, you just clear off the excess again. Okay, so the next section of fireplace to put on is the cross section that spans between the two uprights or the legs that we put on the wall. Same process, we put adhesive on top of the legs and on the back of this and fit this piece to the wall. Here we are, the final piece to the fireplace we're going to put on the shelf now. Same process, we're going to put adhesive on top of the fireplace here, on the back edge of the shelf, and fit the shelf to the fireplace. That's the shelf on now, we just need to clean off the excess adhesive that's spilled out and wash it all down. The last thing we're going to do before the electric fire is installed is we've got a two-part epoxy glue with a couple of blocks that we're going to fit in behind the panel that was fitted. It's just a precaution, just as us to secure the panel in place. It's already secure with the adhesive that we've used. This is a backup to make sure that that stays solid before we put the fire in place. You carry out the same on this side. Before we install the electric fire into the fireplace, we need to make sure that the chimney that we have here is blocked off. And the reason for doing that is that the draft that goes into your flue can affect the flame of the fire and affect the fire working. So it's very important that we block that off first and foremost before any electric fire is fitted into this setting. Here we have the cable for the electric fire. Now we've got a feed here running to the fuse spurt over there. It's a pull through to pull the cable through to the socket. So we need to feed that cable through to the socket over there in order to power up the fire. Final piece of the jigsaw is the electric fire to put in. We've got the space here for it to fit in now. The cable's been fed into the cable here at the socket side, so we'll get this fitted now. Before you completely put the fire in, you just need to get some adhesive on the back of the fire here. I'm going to put the adhesive on each corner of the fire. Push the fire back to the adhesive. Next part to go on is the finished trim around the fire, held on with magnets. You finish off the front of the fire with the fire front. And the cover plate. That's your electric fire installed and fitted. We just need to do the final connection. That's me prepared the cable now for the final connection to the electric fire. We'll get this connected up and we'll have a working fire at the end of it. As you can see, the fireplace that was in previously was a lot higher and wider than the one that we're fitted today. So there is a wee bit of decoration involved later on. The customer was made aware of this and they will carry out this work at a later date. After the installation is complete, we like to speak to the customer and go through basically how to maintain and look after the fireplace and the working of the fire and show them how it works properly. If you're going to be spending a lot of money on a fireplace, it'd be best advised to get a professional installer from FIREGROUP to install your fireplace. Another successful installation completed and another happy customer.